Happy hunting.
Hunt me.
I'm the hunted one.
I'm hunting most things.
That is handsome. You can hunt.
Have you hunted me? You're being hunted.
Welcome back to another top 10 curated hunts for the 14th of October 2018 from steamhunt.com. Let's check out the top 10 today. First one up is Sun Water Life, the Aqualink, the water purification system. It's like a like one of those really industrious boxes that you can get. I can't remember the brand name of them, but these things are pretty indestructible. They pretty much run a tank over these things. Sorry, I'm in the way of it. It comes with a solar panel as well, and you can basically feed into this anything up to, well, contaminated levels of water, and then using the solar panel to create the power. I presume it runs through a series of different membranes for filtration, and can spit out up to 300 litres an hour from this box. Products treat and purify polluted fresh water from any source: wells, ponds, rivers, lakes. These systems collect the water on the surface, which then passes through different filters that remove the pathogens, bacteria, viruses, amoebas, parasites responsible for disease such as cholera, hepatitis, gastroenteritis, polio. The use of filtration membranes ensures clean water, whatever the conditions of sanitation. The system is self-powered with photovoltaic solar panels to provide electric power to the pump. So I presume you only need to have electric power for the pump process, and I guess you don't need as much power to pull it through the filtration system. It uses 2 ultrafiltration membranes and a certified NSF ANSI carbon filter to filter bacteria. Be interested to know how long those last. Flow rate up to 300 litres per hour, daily use 8 to 10 hours, solar panel 130 watts, I think. That's actually a pretty good size box if you think about it, right? You can have one of those in the back of a van. You could go down to a lake somewhere, you could be off grid, and you could literally filter the water through this machine with those solar panels out on a good day, obviously, and then store that water for the week ahead, and then after that I guess you could even boil it. I imagine these things are not cheap, but it's cool to know that these things are like nano sized in a box, you know. Pyua, I don't know how to pronounce it. Pyua. I really love this. I had to include this. This is a concept, but it actually in real life physically exists. I'm not sure how many of them there are, but I can imagine this person's getting a lot of questions about it. But it's kind of harking back to the old days of the Super NES from way back in 1985, believe it or not. And somebody's kind of paying a homage to the retro gaming world. And I really love the build of this, because not only have they built like this dedicated box and this vacuum, almost like this vacuum sealed Jetson kind of top for it, which kind of shows off the cartridge and has a light on the cartridge when it's powered up, but they've also upscaled all the tech using a custom board so that it can be used on a normal modern day television set, which I think is awesome, because we tend to leave a lot of those technologies behind, and then they don't work because you can't physically connect them to a television set, because televisions obviously move on very quickly in terms of adoption of new formats, HDMI and different scales. For instance, this will actually scale up to 1080p, and yeah, I love the case. I love the travel case with it. I love the way it lights up the actual cartridge. I like the fact that the cartridge doesn't accumulate dust on the top of it, which was a big thing with old consoles when you just had it like sitting there collecting dust. People like to constantly blow on the cartridge to make it work, and I just love that whole configuration there. Like, I can imagine that somebody's sideboard, clicking on the power, connected up to play a few little like games of kung fu. People who have never experienced that 8-bit gaming world like will never ever know like the roots of early gaming, and I think it's great to build stuff like this to remind them. I remember playing lots of 8-bit games with my daughter, and she hated it. She said these graphics are terrible. Next up, the Roadster, from Electrica Mechanica. So as far as I can work out, this is a company that is taking classic cars and uniting them with performance electric elements. This is interesting to me because it redefines retro, right? because we're kind of keeping people who have these cars, very expensive cars, collectors. They're obviously getting to a point where either the parts are going to be difficult to get, the engine emissions are going to be a problem the faster we move into a world where we're like very, very tight on emissions, especially if we're going to go to a whole electrified kind of fleet or hydrogen fueled. But people still want to have that legacy of the car. They love the car, they love the drive, they love the history, the legacy, you know, they put money into it. And now it looks like there's companies out there, they're actually taking those classic cars and retrofitting them with electric drivetrains. I mean, if you've got an old vintage car, especially something like this, I'm not sure. I think this is a Porsche. I'm not sure. Roadster. I'm not sure. A Roadster? Yeah, mate. Think it's a Porsche. Beautiful design, like something that's timeless, and then to add electric drive to it, I mean, that's it right there for me. That's the investment right there. Forget all your like ego, vanity, showy off watches. Give me an old retro car any day. Absolute sexy design, timeless design. Next up, let's experiment today. Design, measure and track your experiments. Building a product or trying to achieve a personal goal. We experiment every single day. Let's track these. I love this. This is really, really cool. Measurable results. When creating an experiment, you set a number of measurable expected outcomes. These will help you conclude whether the experiment is successful or not. Track them over time. Every week we'll send you an overview of your ongoing experiments and invite you to check in to update the measurable expected outcomes. Collaborate. Invite as many collaborators as you like. I think this, in combined with a few other social strategy sites, could be good to be used for onboarding people to Steam in terms of tracking how far along they got and maybe reworking some courses to take into effect some of their frustration, issues, questions. Maybe we can have almost like a frequently asked questions, which means every time somebody comes on every week, we have a new person on every week, and we automatically maybe have a FAQ that can help them with any issues that they have early on, because I'm seeing a lot of people talk about retention and about user numbers, and I think they're absolutely right. And I don't think we have that bit in between. Even though we have a communications officer, I don't think we have that bit in between where we communicate where these resources are. They're a bit like disjointed and all over the place at the moment, so we need to kind of connect the dots a bit on that. Landing page inspiration is next with LandUp, a landing page hub community of designers and makers to explore, share and get inspired. Whole bunch of different landing pages here. Definitely going to be making some standalone one pages sites coming up soon, so anything that can inspire me for look and feels and bits that I like, this is always a good Monday morning thing to get you going, you know. Solar bus stops is next. Fully autonomous Energy Go mobile bus stops facilitate our daily journey, giving us the possibility of charging cell phones and tablets using Wi-Fi while waiting for the bus. It developed a new product that is entirely designed and manufactured in Croatia. Like, this is a no-brainer. Like, every bus stop, every brand new bus stop that exists in the world or will exist in the world from like now should be made like this. Not only can you like have energy that powers the signage, you can do all the advertising on it, you can have animated screens in there, you can make it vandal proof, you can have power, like you could even put in some kind of local guide system in there, like integrated into the frame, like a Raspberry Pi with some kind of dead drop Wi-Fi network on it that you can connect to, and there's a whole bunch of documents and stuff, PDFs about the local area and tours and things like that. No brainer. Like, no brainer, because then you don't have to tap into power units nearby. Probably means that you can rapidly deploy these terminals really quick. A game, I wanted to put a game in here because this really stood out at me. Apocalyptis Harry at the end of the world. I don't know who this Harry guy is. Medieval art comes alive in a point-and-click adventure game. Traditional point-and-click adventure game in the vein of Samsarite and Machinerum. I don't know those. When solving puzzles comes with a sense of discovery and accomplishment, this tried and tested gameplay is a perfect match for a story about heartbreak, redemption, and quite literally the end of the world. This is stunning, and you can also get it from Mac as well, which makes me more appealed to it. But you can see what kind of art and graphics it looks like. I love this. Would be great to live stream. right? I don't know if it's a 2-player or if you can just like both work together on it, but I absolutely love the design style of this. Talking about design, another product, the Colin eGet, a smart and functional workspace ready to work. Really love this curvature desk and the format of this. I don't really have a space where I can have something in like this, but if I was working in a co-working space, I would love to have something that enabled me to either sit at this, or I wonder if it's electric as well. I wonder if it actually moves up. It's got an integrated USB 4 ports wireless charger that plugs by induction, so it's got that on the top of it. But and you can see that there with the mobile phone, the guy with the phone. It's got these little racks at the back of it. If this was electronic in terms of being able to move the desk up and down so I can have it from sitting or standing, this would probably be my perfect like little desk. What is that bit in the middle? Like, that's interesting. It's got like a little board in there. Like, does that come up, or is that angle or something? Is that where you put your laptop? I'm not sure. Ah, yeah. It looks like it angles up. You can pull that up to work on it as if you're on an iPad or something. Love that. Love that. Last two today then. The Warthog, amphibious unmanned ground vehicle. Look at this thing. Large all-terrain unmanned ground vehicle capable of travelling on land and in water, handle tough environments, rugged build, low ground pressure and traction tyres. Every week I keep on seeing a brand new robot, and every week they seem to be a little bit more hardcore than the one the week before. Like, robots are coming in fast and looking super damn durable. Can you imagine like having a bunch of these? It's funny, isn't it? It's like art seems to inspire this kind of world, because I've been watching a lot of Call of Duty Black Ops 4, and after you get certain streaks you can get a little vehicle that you can sort of send in remote control to see where people are on a map, and it kind of feels like we're like in unison. We're going to end up with a bunch of these devices going and fetching us food and resources, and just being on patrol all night around the perimeter of where you are. Like, I don't know, man, some cool stuff out there. Finally today, a little bit of a hobbyist thing. The next generation of standalone MPC, the MPC X from, I've never been able to pronounce it, Akai Professional. So these MPCs are like this little pad in the middle. These have got a bunch of sound effects on there, and you can assign them to different pads, and then you can tap the pads, and that little screen at the top there gives you the arrangement of how it's going to play out. Something like this would be amazing for a digital nomad on the go. Pack it in your backpack with your laptop, pull this out on the plane as you're traveling, put a pair of headphones in, and make a bunch of tracks for your next like videos that are going out. Not having to worry about getting content scored or flagged on YouTube because you made it yourself. Bigger than Beats, the X is truly a studio centerpiece. No computer required, 10.1 inch full color display. It's got a 10 gig of sound content included on it, 10 gig. And it's also got 16 gig of onboard storage if you want to bring your own stuff over there. Bluetooth 4 support and Ableton link over Wi-Fi if you want to control it from a machine. That's it for me today. Quite a lot of stuff there, and I have to say there is a hell of a lot of stuff on the Steam Hunt website today. I don't know if you save your hunts for like Sunday, but like there is literally 25 or 50 hunts today that I could have gone through that I thought were pretty awesome. This is what the website looks like as of 2018 October. All the hunts are on the right hand side. We have hundreds of them per day. If you click on any of them, they appear on the left hand side. Hit the white button, takes you through to the hunt. You can fill in this form, which you log in with your Steam details to sign up. You can log into this website using Steam Connect. If you don't have an account, you can go to signup.steamit.com and get an account from there. Right now, there's two ways. Well, there's three ways to get an account on that website, but you can also pay 3 Steam or get somebody who's already got a Steam account, give them a little bit of money to get the Steam and get an account created that way. Otherwise, you can use in HF20, if you've got quite a lot of Steam power already, you can automatically create accounts once a week. It takes a while to recharge your mana. I've been looking into that recently. Fill out this form, put in the title, put up to 1,000 characters of text in there, put some tags, click on publish, goes to the Steam blockchain, but it also goes onto the Steam Hunt website for a day, 24 hours, and then at midnight South Korean time it rolls over and gives you an upvote via the bidbot. That's it for me today. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. I will catch up with you soon. Take care. Bye bye.
Prepare the path of a steam.
Smell of steam.
Stum Nasi, was ist ein Stum Nasi? Stillmaschine.
Why shouldn't the guy